Welcome to Your Thoughts, Your Reality with Michael Cole, the podcast that shines a compassionate light on the journey of veterans battling through life's challenges. Michael is a dual elite certified neuro-encoding specialist in coaching and keynote training presentations, dedicated to guiding military veterans as they navigate the intricate pathways of post-deployment life. Join him as we delve into the profound realm of neuro-encoding science, empowering these brave individuals to conquer universal battles, procrastination, self-doubt, fear, and more. Together, let's uncover the strength within you to re-engage with families and society, forging a new path forward.
Hello, everybody. Hey, we have Robert and Cathy Casteel, just so you guys know. Instagram worked. Woo!
Woo!
All right, so today we are talking to the Casteels. They've been on multiple times. They're dear friends of mine. Cathy is empowers highly sensitive, empathic women to break free from limiting beliefs and reclaim their self-worth using tools drawn from her diverse background in military service, corporate leadership, and law enforcement. Robert helps individuals break generational cycles and rediscover their authentic selves, combining his own first responder and military experience with cutting-edge coaching strategies. Today, we're going to talk about the I knew I was going to mess it up. The Ho'opono. I still messed it up. You know what? We're going to talk about a Hawaiian prayer. It totally got into my head. And we are going to be talking about state. We're going to talk about the state trilogy and so on. So, guys, if you want to tell people a little bit more about yourself.
Awesome. For me, I am just about making an impact, especially with my brothers and sisters, because the military does a great job bringing us in, and they don't do a great job letting us go back into civilian world. So my passion is to make sure that my brothers and sisters know they're not left behind, and the challenges that they're going through, they're not alone.
Yes, I mean, exactly like Cathy said, you know, they integrate us very well into the military and into the military mindset, but they don't know how to take it out. And they don't do the deprogramming in order to help us when we get out and we realize that, hey, wait a minute, everybody is not like us and all gung-ho and ready to go conquer the world.
Absolutely. You know, and that's why that's my focus, you know, for military veterans and their families. It's they're great at conditioning to go do what you got to go do, and not great for conditioning for the reintegration, so into civilian life. So I love that you brought that up. So with that said, let me just remind everybody, on the top right hand corner of the screen, there's a blue QR code, takes you to empowerperformancestrategies.com. Again, for people listening on the podcast forums, it is empowerperformancestrategies.com. There are all kinds of resources, books that I've written for you. There's Facebook groups that you can join as well, both for veterans and their families. So come be part of the mission. So there's lots of resources there. So with that said, so today we're going to talk about the state, right? And so let's talk about, if you can, let's just get rolling. I know you want to talk about the state trilogy. So if you want to start there.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I call it trilogy, or some people call it triad, is made up of three things. And just think of it like a stool. It has three legs. And if you pull one out, it makes it unsteady. So you must have all three in order for it to be stable. And the first one is focus. So where is your mind focus going? Are you focusing on good things going on in your life? Are you focusing on the negative things going on in your life? And so focus is very much the first piece of the trilogy or the triad in the state. Would you like to cover the second one, Hanson?
Yeah, so physiology, which depends upon how you look at it, is a major piece. Physiology, if you look at it at a triangle, is the base. If your physiology is not in a very strong state, let's say for some reason you're recovering from some sort of surgery or something like that, and you allow yourself to just think, well, this is going to be a long recovery, and your physiology is going to reflect that. Whatever you think, your physiology is going to state that. So if your head's down, your shoulders are slumped forward, you're not in an empowered state. So in order to empower yourself, pull your shoulders back and pull your chin up a little bit and empower yourself and go conquer the world using your physiology.
And if I may share on that, a perfect example is I had a hamstring injury, and not too long after that, I had a knee injury. Not being able to do what I love to do, which is work out, has very much, can affect my physiology and how I show up. It can also affect my focus. So the third piece of the trilogy or triad is called language. And so talk about our physiology, we talk about what we're focusing on, and then the biggest thing that we do to ourselves is the conversation we have between this ear and this ear. And the language is that great language. I can tell you 100%, if I tracked every conversation that went on in my head, I would say the majority, it's better. It's not quite as bad as it used to be. I have to catch myself because my automatic go-to is want to focus on the negative stuff. So when you start focusing on the negative stuff, then that affects your focus, that affects your physiology. And all three of these pieces lead into something major, which we practice every day to talk about. Would you like to share that piece?
Yeah. So your energy level. Your energy level has a lot to do with your state. If you are energy poor, which means you're running on fumes, you've not done anything to fill your tank to bring you up to at least energy neutral, your state is going to be very low. You're going to be more angry. Small little things are just going to set you off, and things like that. And energy poor is the worst state to be in.
Absolutely. And you know what? We talk about that, and we're going to dive into that a lot more. But I want everybody to think about this listening now, and of course on the podcast forums. When your energy state is low, do you feel like you're making good decisions? Do you think that you're attracting the right people around you? Do you think the positive people that are going and kicking ass in the world want to hang around with somebody that's going, I hate my life. I hate my life. Facebook messed with me again. These things come up that just caught that personal side joke between us. Just had to say it. But when you're there and your energy's low, you're bringing down the people around you as well.
We call them energy vampires.
Absolutely. That's about as good as it gets. So if we can, as far as those go, I know we're going to talk about the I messed it up again.
Ho'oponopono.
The Ho'oponopono.
And I learned it differently.
We have a lot of people that are on the struggle bus with the pronunciation, so we just shorten it and we call it the hop.
I don't want to do that though. I'm going to spend 15 minutes. Everybody just hang out. We're just going to hear Mike stutter. The Ho'oponopono. I did it. Yay. That's the way I was taught it. I knew I'd get myself in the right state. See? So can we talk about that for a minute, and then how that applies to your states, and then I'd love to go through more details of each of the triad or trilogy. Does that work for you guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so tell people, because I'm not going to say the word again until we get off air. What it is. I don't know how much you know of the background of it, but talk about it for a minute, and let's kind of start there.
Would you like me to share?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this was a gentleman in Hawaii who took over a mental institution that was not doing very well at all. And so he came over to, his name was Dr. Hugh Lin, and he came over and he made changes. And he made changes in the most unusual way that you would think. So when he took over in the hospital, he didn't want to see the patients. He just wanted to see the files on each of the patients. And so he would open the files, read it, and then he would do the Ho'oponopono prayer to each patient. And he would do that every day, never seeing any patients. And through that process and time, it actually changed the environment for patients, use that term, patients that were there that would actually leave the hospital. And then the workers that were there were actually enjoyed working there. It changed not just the dynamic of the patients, it changed the dynamic of the whole hospital. And it was such a massive turnaround. Like, it's unbelievable. And I don't know if you want to add anything more to that.
No, it's a great story. I think Zero Limits is the book that actually made the whole prayer popular, that was written about his story. And it's an amazing read. And the prayer itself is so valuable and so simple and powerful.
And
Can we do that? Can we tell people the prayer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Would you guys do it for each other?
Absolutely. I would love to. And I just want to share one little piece before we get to that, is that it goes to show that you can have healing without the person being in front of you or around you.
Yes.
So that's the key takeaway, is that the healing is in the prayer, not in the physicality. Now, we're going to do it to each other. I've done it to people that aren't in front of me that I need healing around.
And it's not necessarily saying that you've done something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you're just saying this, I'll say this to another man, and I haven't done anything to that individual, but I'm saying it to all the other men that's hurt him.
Yeah.
And the same way with ladies, when I'm in front of a lady that's not my wife, I'll say it with them. I'll stand in position of the other person, saying it to them and asking them and telling them, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you.
I just gotta say, I've never seen someone else, I think, do it. My wife and I do it, and I felt it, and that's the beauty of this prayer. So thank you guys for that vulnerability and just doing that, in front of people, and of course them hearing it later on. So thank you very much. So how does that connect into state?
May I share?
Yes.
A piece? So I feel like when I am feeling, my girlfriend uses this term prickly. I love it. When I'm feeling not right, prickly, or I feel this energy exchange between me and Robert, or even me and my daughter, whoever, and it doesn't feel right to me. The first thing I do is, one, go internally and be like, okay, Cathy, like, what's your energy state? Am I energy rich? Am I energy neutral? Or am I energy poor? And 9 times out of 10, if I'm feeling prickly or whatever, it means I'm energy poor.
Yeah.
Or energy neutral moving to poor. So what in my state focus, language, or physiology can I change to make that shift? And sometimes the reason why I love the Ho'oponopono prayer or the hop is because there are times that I don't feel I did anything wrong. I feel, or I don't know what happened, or I just don't like that ickiness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, as you can tell, just so you're not saying I did wrong. You're not saying, you're the butthole or I'm the butthole. It's just like, I just don't want that energy there anymore. Let's clear the air.
Yeah.
And the other major piece to that too is you can say it to yourself in the mirror. Like, how much have we hurt ourselves, abused ourselves with our focus, our language, more so our language, that healing piece of the triad? Like,
Right.
how simple. It sounds so simple, yet so freaking powerful. Sorry, I get a little excited about it.
Yeah. So when I'm feeling in a disempowered state or prickly, as Cathy just said, I'll look in the mirror and say it to my soul and my spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then usually after I've said that, my whole energy level will change.
Yeah, absolutely.
It,
Absolutely.
it will go from poor or whatever the case may be. It'll go up at least one level.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole, I'm going to do it again. Oponopono. There we go. I did it again. So, and my friend Cindy put it on here. She's the one that taught me how to do it. So when you're doing it in the mirror, just think about looking in your eyes, because when you look in your eyes and focus, you're really reaching your soul generally, and it changes the game. Really, like just like a mirror exercise. A lot of times, and I do it myself. I'll teach people that just say, "Mike, I love you," and look in your soul and feel it. But there's so many other things you can do with mirror exercises like this. So I'm really glad you brought that up. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, and one of the things I'll tell my veterans that have suffered massive loss in combat is you can say it to who you feel you let down. And you will feel that forgiveness that you need, or that you feel that you need. And they will forgive you. Their spirit will forgive you.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, with that said, do you want to talk which of the triads do you guys want to kind of go into first? I mean, I think they're all equally as important. So what's your heart saying right now? Where do you want to start?
May I share one more thing before we get there?
Please.
Because my heart wants to share this.
Please.
Having come up from childhood trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and not always having the ability to face the individuals that have, I use in air quotes, wronged me, or I didn't get to say everything I wanted to say to the individuals. That's the other piece that comes in with the Ho'oponopono prayer, to be able to say that. I had to pause there for a second.
But you nailed it.
Think of those individuals. So when you were talking like yourself in the mirror, you can always close your eyes and have that other person on the other end and say it to them and get that healing back and forth. Because some people feel that you have to have forgiveness, you have to have peace with the other person and have the exchange of words. Well, sometimes you're not always in that luxury. Maybe your father was a veteran and unfortunately didn't come home. And so there's all that unspokenness.
Yeah.
So that is another way that this prayer works massively.
Yeah. I really love you brought that up. Yeah.
I think show off, but I think the biggest piece is focus.
Yes.
We've always heard where your focus goes, energy flows. If you focus on being energy poor, it's going to affect your state. You're going to be energy poor. If you want to focus on being energy rich or super rich, that's out there doing all kinds of crazy dances and stuff. You just have a lot of energy. Usually that happens when we go on stage. Sometimes when we get ready to start a talk or something like that, we go into a super rich stage or state. But with the focus, focus drives a lot of things. If you want to focus on the doomsday stuff, well, guess what you're going to see a lot of? You're going to see a lot of doomsday stuff.
Yes.
But if you want to focus on a lot of blessings, then your focus is going to be focused on blessing others and others blessing you, or in others blessing others.
May I add something on that?
Yeah.
What's super cool for those, I know, Mike, we've done a lot of work on the unconscious mind with Steve Linder and others, is when you start focusing on that stuff, whether it's happening at this moment or not, you're focusing on, yes, I'm gonna get up every morning and I'm gonna feel amazing and do all these things. The unconscious mind wants to prove you're right. So it's going to start feeding you things to do, to be like, I'm going to wake up super rested. Awesome. Okay. So your unconscious mind is going to be like, oh, it's time to go to bed, or, oh, we need to do this, or, oh, we need to do that to, and you can do that by listing like things that fill your tank. So that way your unconscious mind has this thing to pull from. And that's what's super cool is, like, to Robert's point, it being so massively important is because you're feeding the unconscious mind to go into its database and pull that evidence to prove that you're right, which is what we all need. We need validation that we're on the right track.
Yeah, absolutely. I just had an experience. I got to tell you, I took a nap. I'm going to keep this very short. Took a nap and put on a book, that audio book that I wanted to start listening to. And I was like, I'm just going to put it on, if I catch some before I go to sleep, whatever. About 3 days later, I was on the treadmill listening to the audio book again, and started it over because I slept. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start it over again. I was like, where did I hear this before? I've never heard this before. Why is this here? And it was all in my subconscious from what I caught when I was sleeping. And it was one of the, I just got God bumps or goosebumps. It's one of the, that is like the most powerful time that's ever happened to me. That realization of how powerful that really is and how it goes into your psyche and into your nervous system and everything else. So I love that you bring that up. So if we can, let's talk about, we got about 7 minutes left. Let's talk about language, because let's your thoughts, your reality, right? So what we think about, and like we're talking about, is how we feel, right? And as we feel, then we do. And because of what we do, we have things, right? Whatever that is in our lives. It's a poem from Neuroencoding Institute that are first things we learn. So let's talk about that language pattern, because like you were saying before, Cathy, and it's not just you, it's the human condition. I mean, most people we have so many thoughts going through our head all the time. And it's about those disempowering thoughts compared to empowering thoughts, right? So let's talk about that and give some tips or thoughts on how to curb it, and so that you can train the brain, if you will, to really focus on the positive for that positive state and energy.
So let's talk language.
Yes.
You have that self-talk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a disempowering self-talk, then it's gonna drag your energy level down. It's gonna drag your focus down. It's gonna drag your physiology down. Yes. However, that's where your affirmations can be very powerful, because you can take those affirmations and read them and say them out loud, which is the affirmation is a very powerful language, and it's very empowering, and it can change your state from being energy poor to energy neutral, energy rich, just by using that language. And it's also going to drive your focus up also by using the affirmations.
And if I may add on that, what I like to do is, I'm going to have those disempowering thoughts. We're all human. Like we have, and we can go through the numbers, 2.4 million, bytes per second that go through this little thing that we can't process it all. And so it's to give myself grace and realize the big thing is having the awareness that that negative language is either going on in your head or out your mouth. And when you have that awareness, then you can stop and be like, we call it bop, breathe, open, pause, hop and bop. So you breathe, open, pause, and you're like, ooh, that wasn't so nice. Let me rechange instead of, oh my God, like I keep saying all these negative things and they keep coming out my mouth. And then you beat yourself up and you what we call toilet flush. Yep. So it's having that awareness too. It's the affirmations and realizing, sometimes we're going to, disempowering things are going to either come up in our mind or out our mouth. And that's when we can pause, stop, be like, okay, that came out. Let me rechange that. You have the ability of choice. So you can choose to change that thought into a more empowering thought and language coming out of your mouth.
Love all of that, both of you guys. So I want to just add on to that, if I may.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So before you do the bop, as soon as you realize it, just go, oh, put a smile on your face and celebrate just for a second, because it starts to create a new neural pathway and or strengthen them, and you'll catch it faster the next time because your brain is saying, because once you start celebrating and you smile, your brain automatically releases all the good hormones, and your brain is looking for it again, and your body is as well in the future. So when you do it, you will automatically start, and you have to do it and train yourself, condition yourself to do this. But the more you do it, the more your brain will remember faster, and will go, oh, hold on, I need to do this exercise that Robert and Cathy were just talking about. And then once that's done, celebrate again. Mm-hmm. Smile. Pat yourself on the back, shake your ass. It's called astitude. Do whatever you need to do, but literally change that physiology. Here we go back to one of the triads, right? But you change your physiology in your brain when you create a significant emotional event. It literally changes your brain patterns and creates new neural pathways and or strengthens them as you start doing the process more and more. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this.
Yeah, you celebrate the awareness and the corrective action you're taking.
Absolutely.
You correct that. And it's not the actual event you're celebrating, but hey, oh, wait a minute, I just said that. Correct it. And then you had the awareness, and celebrate both of those, awareness and the correction.
And when you include all three, the focus, the language, and the physiology, to your point, Mike, you're now like really embedding it into your neural pathway because you're hitting all the dynamics of your body that just hit it home even harder.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a great way to reinforce anything like that. Those thoughts, you catch yourself with physiology and changing it. Any of those things, the more you do that, the more it conditions it into your body. So with that said, we got a couple of minutes left. Do you guys want to talk a little bit more about physiology or focus?
Actually, I would love to give one takeaway for people to do.
Absolutely.
Because that's more important to me than them. So for me, I feel like the biggest gift you can give yourself is to take a piece of paper and find at least 10 things, I would say, at minimum. So that way it gives you a variety to choose from of things that fill your tank. And it could be language things, affirmations. It could be physiology things, doing something physically, dancing, rebounding, whatever. Focus things, whether you're reading scripture or music or self-development books. So the only criteria is it's something that you can do yourself and not rely on somebody else to be a part of. So for me, what fills my tank is listen to scripture. It's music. It's dancing. It's working out. These are all things that I can do on my own that doesn't require my amazing husband to be involved in, that fill my tank.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So make a list of those. And when you start to notice, like, wonder why I'm not feeling so great. Oh, is my tank full? No. Okay, let me go to my list and see what it is. Or the biggest part is make it a ritual, right? Just make it a ritual to do things to fill your tank every day, which is things that I do.
I love it. And I'm going to add to that if I can. The
Absolutely.
more you find things to fill your tank and you review them, you do these things, it makes you more grateful. Your energy level on grateful, your focus, all those things, it changes the game. You can't be upset. You can't be stressed out. You can't be pissed off if you're grateful, truly.
That's
Absolutely.
actually one of my things, if I may share, that fills my tank, is to do gratitude. So before I go to bed at night, because I know my unconscious mind is going to focus on whatever I'm thinking about before I go to bed. So after I do my affirmations and things like that, I just start listing everything I'm grateful for. And some days it's, I woke up today, I'm breathing. Awesome. Great. And then there's some days that I'm like, oh my God, thank you for my ears that I get to hear the birds chirp and my eyes to see the birds. Like some days are greater than others. And some days it's just the basics. However, I always finish my evening with things I'm grateful for.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's always great.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? With that is, guys, you woke up on the right side of the dirt, like you said. You got to brush your teeth because you have some. There are so many. Everybody's like, I didn't buy a car today, or something like that. There's so many little things to be grateful for all day long. And when you focus on those, we're back to focus, physiology, all the stuff that you guys have brought up, man, it changes the game all day long. If you're focused on the negative, yeah, you're going to be drained, just like you guys said. But if you focus on just the little things and laugh about it, I brushed my teeth today. The goofier you are, it changes everything as well.
And to circle back around on physiology piece of it, like when I'm out and about, like my goal is to impact others, to just bring a smile on their face or whatever. So I can tell from their physiology what kind of day they're having. I'll be like, how are you doing today? Well, and they're like, so how are you? And I'm like, I'm doing great. I woke up today. It's a great day. And so it kind of is a semi-pattern interrupt for them to be like, oh, okay. So sometimes I'll see in their physiology a slight change. And so that's kind of my goal.
Yeah, I love that. That's fantastic, because you just see it like that. I mean, if you're paying attention, and here's the cool thing about that is how many other people's lives got changed that day because their mood got changed because of what you did. It's a ripple effect you create, and it's fantastic. I love that you said that.
Life's too short not to be happy.
Be kind, be grateful, be happy. Amen. I love it. Absolutely love it. So with that said, we're way over. Which is okay. We own the place. So if you guys can give me 3 tips to get veterans and their families further faster, we could have already talked about it, something new, whatever comes up.
I think the first one for me is having the awareness of the language. Like just take 24 hours, 48 if you can do it, and just track the language that's going on in your head, what you're thinking and what you're saying. So the only thing you can make changes is what you're aware of. So that would be one way to start.
Yeah. Another way is to work on your physiology, work on your state. Look, where's your energy level? I check in on that. Yeah. If you're energy poor, okay, what can I do to change that? Yeah. Don't ask the question why. What can I do to change it? Because your subconscious mind can't answer why.
Yeah, you'll go on forever. You're right. Absolutely. And that's an open-ended question for sure.
Sorry. And the third thing is just when in doubt, Ho'oponopono prayer is amazing to do for yourself and for others, and quit laughing.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
So just when in doubt, hop it out.
There you go. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So with that said, how do people reach you?
They can reach us at msmcoachinggroup.com, and you can send us messages, or our contact information's on there.
Yep. And we look forward to hearing from people.
Yeah, absolutely. And please reach out. These are amazing souls and amazing people. They're dear friends. So if you have questions, you have thoughts, any of those things, please reach out. So thank you again for being on. It's always such a pleasure when you guys are on here. Time is the most precious resource we have as human beings. We don't get it back. So thank you for spending, some more time with us and sharing your brilliance and your golden nuggets. Really, really, really love it as always.
Love being here.
Yes.
Your energy, you are definitely not an energy vampire. You fill my tank having conversations, and I enjoy it. I know we enjoy it so much.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And you fill the cup as well. So thank you. With that said, everybody, we're out of here.
Adios.
Thank you for joining us on another insightful journey of Your Thoughts, Your Reality podcast with your host, Michael Cole. We hope the conversation sparked some thoughts that resonate with you. To dive deeper into empowering your thoughts and enhancing your reality, visit empowerperformancestrategies.com. Remember, your thoughts shape your reality, so make them count. Until next time, stay inspired and keep creating the reality you desire. Catch you on the next episode.